A UC San Diego Health.
All right, here's a big story that everyone's talking about in the health world. An international panel of experts is sounding the alarm over red and processed meat today. The researchers say eating processed meats like hot dogs and bacon raises the risk of colon cancer, and eating other red meats that are not processed probably raises the risk of cancer. The World Health Organization looked at 800 studies about meat and cancer to come up with the findings. They say the processed meat is carcinogenic to humans, which puts it in the same dangerous category as smoking and asbestos.
Stop smoking and eat less red meat. But the key here is that processed meat is the worst. We already knew this, but we didn't know that the processing of meat is what really puts the dangerous chemicals in.
So it's not that all red meat is bad or that eating a hamburger is going to be causing colon cancer. It's how much intake and how much over time there's going to be.
Right, so that's always the key, right? Moderation. The meat industry calls the new findings alarming, and that those who did the study are alarmists, and it argues cancer isn't caused by a specific food, but rather involves a whole host of things, including lifestyle and environmental factors. So the big question, should we be concerned? Joining us to discuss the study is immunologist researcher Dr. Douglas Wu. All right, Dr. Wu, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Pardon the pun here, but give me a little bit of the meat and potatoes, if you will, of this study. What are we really talking about?
Well, this is a well-timed, a scary story just for Halloween. This was a study that was just published today, actually, in The Lancet, and it comes from a large group of scientists that are part of the International Agency for Research on Cancer. It is an affiliated organization with the WHO, and it comprises a large group of scientists from 20 different countries, including US, UK, France, Korea, etc. They have a large task in front of them, actually, and they do it very well.
Right, and they all came back with similar reports of saying that yes, some meat, some red meat, and then other processed meats, hot dogs, ham, bacon, do cause cancer in some cases, maybe an 18% increased risk of cancer for those who ate it, say 2 pieces of ham, I think it was, a day. I mean, are most people eating that, or is this something where we can say, well, it's maybe not that dangerous for us, but it's something to keep on the radar?
Well, when we look at these kind of studies, it's always very, very important to keep them in context. It's very difficult to point to one single food or one single factor and say that it causes cancer. Cancer is, in fact, as we all know, a very complex biological entity that is essentially due to many, many different factors. And so saying that red meats or processed meats themselves cause cancer is kind of misleading. It is not actually what the researchers were getting at.
Okay, so if they're not saying it causes cancer, are they just saying what then? That it's something that we should be aware of, that it could be carcinogenic in our health combined with other things?
It can increase the risk in certain quantities and in certain ways. But you know, there are other things that can increase the risk as well, and those factors were not necessarily perfectly explored in this study.
So if someone came to you, Dr. Wu, and said, all right, should I become a vegetarian and give up my beloved bacon on my burger? What do you tell them?
Well, I'd have to say that moderation is the key. When we're talking about anything in life, the healthiest choice is usually the moderate choice. You can take the meat, you can eat the meat, but remember to get your exercise, lead a healthy lifestyle, and those things are actually more important.
Always good advice there. Dr. Douglas Wu, thanks for being here. I like your advice. Everything in moderation. That's what I say when I have my glass of wine at night. Everything in moderation. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank
and we wanted to know what you all think about the study. So we posted this poll on our website.